Erwin, are you going to play the PPT? Okay.
Okay, palms join.
Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Namo Sakyamuni Buddha. Hello, good evening, everyone. And today we have Zhitong Fasa again, and she was here a couple weeks ago in Philippines. I think some of you from in the Manila already meet her, right? No, because you don't go to temple. But we hope next time we will have chance to meet her in person in Cebu.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. We welcome you and all the team to come here to give us a face-to-face lecture. That will be fascinating. Okay, shall we start today's topic? Auspicious. Yes. Very good topic with Zhitong Fashi.
Thank you very much, Yohui, for your kind introduction. I definitely hope that I can visit the Cebu Temple someday. Because
my bag.
yeah, it's the only one that we didn't go. So I think when I was in the Philippines, we were there for about 10 days. And then what really struck me was how friendly everybody is. And then by everybody, I mean not just Foguang people, not just Bliyang members, but everyone that I meet, the people I met in the airport, the people I meet, driving the jeepneys, just anyone on the street is very friendly. And that is very touching because, I come from a background where people are not necessarily friendly to each other if they don't know each other. So we are more reserved, especially for Chinese, we are definitely more reserved, right? It's only when we get to know you that we start to get friendly. But, in the Philippines, everybody is friendly. And so I think that fits very well with today's topic, which is auspiciousness. Now, usually I don't really go to the Chinese aspect of an article because we're doing this, just in English. But I think for this one, pretty much you guys should have a guess. What is the Chinese title for this article, right? Is 吉祥, right? Is 吉祥, auspiciousness is 吉祥. So everyone here is very familiar with 吉祥. We say this every time we go to the temple. This is the way we greet each other, hello. So, but what does 吉祥 really means? And auspicious is not a frequently used word in English. You just don't say it, in your everyday life because it's kind of a rare word. People just don't say it all the time. But when you come to Foguangshan, you are always like, oh, we're always saying 吉祥, 吉祥. We're always saying auspicious greetings, everyone, auspicious blessings. So today, let's take a chance to dive a little bit into this concept of 吉祥. Now, first question that I want to ask you guys is, how do you greet people, right? How do you greet people? What are the words that we usually say? What are the phrases?
I say hi, 师傅.
Hi.
Hello, hi.
Hello. Yeah, that's pretty standard. Yeah, you can say that everywhere, anywhere in the world.
Omitofo.
Omitofo. That's very good. That's definitely
depending on the context.
Yeah,
Sorry.
depending on the context. Yeah, go ahead, Ruan.
What's up?
Depending on the context.
What's
in the
up?
temple.
Yeah.
At first, I mean, if it's Foguangshan, I would say Jixiang and then Amitofo. But if it's another Chinese Vihara, I would say Amitofo because they'll be more familiar with that.
Yes, that's a very good observation. That's true. So if for Guangshan we say 吉祥, and for other Chinese temples, they usually use 阿弥陀佛, right? And I think Louisa, you say what's up? Very modern, very what's up. We also in English, usually we use say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So there is this idea of when you greet people, you want to wish them well. So I think if I got it right, in the Philippines, you would say salamat, right? So because it's the same in Malay, in Malay, we also say salamat. So salamat is like a well-wishing of wishing you are well, wishing you are, protected and blessed. So there is this idea of when we, initiate a conversation with people, we kind of want to say something that's nice and good, right? So in this vein, we start to see what 吉祥 really means. So my next question to everyone is, so what does 吉祥 means? So when we say 吉祥, when we say auspicious blessings, when we say auspicious greetings, what are we really trying to say? Why do we use this in particular, especially in Foguangshan, instead of 阿弥陀佛, right? Instead of hello. So, as usual, I'm always like throwing out questions for you guys. So I'm very happy to hear from anyone.
I guess
well.
Okay, let's have Marlene first, and then we'll ask Ruan to.
Can we say I wish you well?
Okay, it's a well-wishing. Very good. Ruan?
Auspicious greetings, Jisiang would be like, it's a more more powerful form of hello. I would say that because back in Sri Lanka in the monastery there, we would say something like Suapatweva. It's Sinhala for the deep Sinhala meaning is like, may you be free from Raga, Dosha, Moha, the three poisons. May you be healed from that. So when I say Jishang, I'm trying to convey that meaning, though some people won't get it. So something like that. It's more like Namaste or more powerful form of that, I would say.
Indeed. Any other answers on what does 吉祥 means? So in the book, Vermo Master gave us a definition of 吉祥 or auspicious, which is to be without tragedy or disaster, and may all moments and all conditions be favorable. So I think that is what every one of us wants. Like, may Buddhist or non-Buddhist, as long as we are living in this world, this is the kind of life that we want to have, which is a life that is without tragedy or disaster. So just when I was in the Philippines, I feel kind of like a little bit blessed because I escaped from the typhoon. And the typhoon, head towards Kaohsiung right here. But I was in the Philippines, so I kind of, escaped from that a little bit. And then in our life, we hope that we will never meet with any tragedy or that we will never meet with any disaster. And then, of course, on the other way to view it is that we hope that every moment in our life, we can receive favorable conditions, we can have good opportunities, good causes and conditions that come to us, right? So when we understand that this is the meaning of 吉祥, basically these two Chinese words, is it carries the meaning of may everything go well, may disaster never happen, may everything goes as smoothly and as fortunate as possible. So when we understand that this is the definition of 吉祥, now when we say it to another person, when we use it for greeting, then it would feel different. The weight should be different. You know, just like Ruan, you say that in Sri Lanka, when you say hi to the other person, that you hope that they are not disturbed by the three poison. This is the kind of well-wishing that we hope that we can give to the other person. It's the simplest form of goodwill. So it's very, in a way, we are not just speaking good words now. We are also thinking good thoughts. We are sending out this good thought, to the other person, and really sincerely hope that they can have auspiciousness in their life, right? So 吉祥 becomes very powerful now. So the next question I want to discuss is, how do you define an auspicious life? So we know what auspicious means now. We know that it means that there's no disaster, there's no tragedy. So if we want to really lead an auspicious life, if we want to extend that auspiciousness from a mere greeting to something that we can really something that will happen in our life. So how would you describe an auspicious life is like?
Therefore, for me, it would mean that I have the least disaster or the least challenge happening, because we cannot escape disasters. But an auspicious life would be a life that even when there are troublesome things that will come, that you can ride through it, and it's not going to be so bad that you can't get out of it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben. Any other person would like to share?
I would say a life guided by the Dharma, because the Dharma is, in Pali you have Dhammo have rakati dhammachari. The one who follows the Dharma will be protected by the Dharma. So you become part of nature, something like that. So like I said in the previous discussions, if you practice the Dharma, that's the entire package. So everything else will flow in. The end point is Niyapan, but before you come to that, you'll be safe, I would say.
Very good. A life guided by the Dharma. Yep.
I'd like to share, Venerable Zedong.
Yes, Sheila, please.
I define an auspicious life as having enough of everything, like enough food, you have shelter over your head, you have a family, you have opportunities that to go to school, little things but that help you along the way, that everything goes smoothly as you wish. So that's, for me, is auspicious. Not necessarily like a lot of money or branded clothing or a big house, but it's enough. And then we have a healthy body that can help us to accomplish our goals.
Very good. I think that's what most people are just, simply looking for, a very peaceful life, that a life that we have enough, we don't have, and we don't lack anything. We have enough to keep us happy and well. And I think that's for the general public, majority of the people, basically that's what they're seeking, right? So yeah, that is a form of auspicious life.
So for
Yes.
maybe a life with less problem dealing with people, with workers, or
Yep. Of course, because we're living in a human world, right? And in a human world, you have to deal with humans. So, but it doesn't mean that, in order to live an auspicious life, it's best, just run away into the forest or hide in your room, because, nowadays, basically a person can survive without ever stepping out of their house. They can just, survive forever in their house. It's possible, but I think as a Buddhist, even as any person, I think that we should not limit ourselves to that. I think when we have the wisdom and also the empathy to have very good interpersonal relationship with other people, then naturally I think we will really feel that our life is filled with auspiciousness, because we couldn't be apart from the community, as Venerable Master always say. So when I just landed in the Manila airport, something happened that I was actually very shocked by it. So when we landed in Manila airport, and then after using the CR, the lady cleaning the CR just started handing tissue paper to anyone who has just washed their hands, so that they can start drying their hands. And then I thought, wow, you do this in the Philippines, you have such good service that people are actually, just handing out tissue paper for you to wipe your hands dry in the CR. So I think when you have that kind of interpersonal relationship, I don't think that it will be a problem. In fact, I think it will make us feel more connected to everyone around us. So, but that is a very challenging kind of like stage to reach. So that's something that we all need to work hard. But thank you for sharing, Erwin. Marlene, I'm just gonna pick on you. What is your definition of a auspicious life?
I think it's like you know how you appreciate, and you're very grateful and very appreciative of your life, and that's a auspicious life.
That's beautiful. So all of your answers, even though they are different, but in a way we can see the connection, right? We are all searching for peace and harmony. We are searching for happiness and joy. And the way that we can achieve it is, first of all, if we can practice the Dharma in our daily life, we take the Dharma as our guidance. And with the Dharma as our guidance, we would make the good choices, the wise choices in terms of dealing with all the matters in life, right? So if we can do that, then we are indeed living an auspicious life. So the next question, and this is also answered in the article itself, is, so now that we define what is an auspicious life. So the question will be, how can we lead it, right? So we want peace, we want harmony, we want the Dharma, we want good interpersonal relationship. So what are the ways to achieve this? And in the article, Venerable Master mentioned the Mangala Sutra, right? Or the Mangala Sutta, which I think, Ruan, you're probably very familiar with. So in Chinese, it is called Ji Xiang Jing. So it is a sutra that bestow blessings. It is a sutra that bestow protection. So for today, I'm going to focus a little bit on this sutra. So let us read this sutra together. Okay. Can you see the sutra? Does it appear on your screen? Okay, good. Oopsie. Hang on. I'm just gonna make this a little bit larger. So this is actually a very short sutra. I'm just gonna do a very quick reading. So Mangala Sutra, blessing. So thus have I heard, on one occasion, the Exalted One, which is the Buddha, was dwelling at Anathapindika's monastery in Jedah's Grove, near Savatthi. Now, when the night was far spent, a certain deity, whose surpassing splendor illuminated the entire Jetha Grove, came to the presence of the Exalted One and, drawing near, respectfully saluted him and stood at one side. Standing thus, he addressed the Exalted One in verse. Many deities and men, yearning after good, have pondered on blessings. Pray, tell me the greatest blessing. So now the Buddha started to talk about what is the greatest blessings. So first, not to associate with the foolish, but to associate with the wise and to honor those who are worthy of honor. This is the greatest blessing. To reside in a suitable locality, to have done meritorious actions in the past, and to set oneself in the right course. This is the greatest blessing. To have much learning, to be skillful in handicraft, well trained in discipline, and to be of good speech. This is the greatest blessing. To support mother and father, to cherish wife and children, to be engaged in peaceful occupation, this is the greatest blessing. To be generous in giving, to be righteous in conduct, to help one's relatives, to be blameless in action. This is the greatest blessing. To loathe more evil and abstain from it, to refrain from intoxicant, and to be steadfast in virtue. This is the greatest blessing. To be respectful, humble, contented, and grateful, and to listen to the Dharma on due occasions. This is the greatest blessing. To be patient and obedient, to associate with monks, and to have religious discussions on due occasions. This is the greatest blessings. Self-restraint, a holy and chaste life, the perception of the noble truth, and the realization of Nibbana. This is the greatest blessing. A mind unruffled by the vagaries of fortune, from sorrow freed, from defilements cleansed, from fear liberated. This is the greatest blessing. Those who thus abide ever remain invincible, in happiness established. These are the greatest blessings. So this is the entirety of the Mangala Sutra, which is excerpted in our article as well. So let's use a little bit of time to go through this sutra, because this sutra gives us the answer on how to lead an auspicious life, right? So first of all, the sutra began when a heavenly being, so a deity is a heavenly being, and then it's very interesting because not only does human, people go to the Buddha and ask him about questions that they have, even heavenly beings do too. But heavenly beings usually come in the middle of the night. They don't come like in the middle of the day when everyone is there. They come in the middle of the night. But because they're heavenly beings, when they come, they shine a bright light. So their presence brings light to the entire place. And so for this time, there's this heavenly being who had this question to the Buddha. So he came down from the heaven and then he asked the Buddha, oh Buddha, many people want to lead a good life. They want to receive blessings. So please tell me, what does it mean to receive a very great blessing, right? So interestingly, the Buddha didn't say, if in his answers, he never said anything like, oh, if you have a lot of money, that means you have great blessings. If you have, a lot of material, you have great blessings. The Buddha never go to things like that. So the Buddha gave the heavenly being 10 answers. But out of these 10 answers, when you put them all together, I think there are 34 or 38 answers altogether. So let's go through them. First, not to associate with the foolish. That means don't make friends with people who might not be that wholesome, right? Who might make unwholesome choices in their life. So instead, we should make friends with people who do wholesome deeds, and furthermore, to respect those who are worthy of respect. Now, when we think about our life, have you ever met with, similar situations on making friends, right? I have a friend, but somehow their behavior, the way that they speak, the way that they treat other people, make me rethink our friendship. Or, you have a very good friend and then you think these are the kind of people that I want to learn from. So have you ever had this kind of experience?
I would say yes. Personally, in my personal life, a person who I'm supposed to, the irony, I'm not going to mention who this person exactly is, but a very close part of the family. And ironically, this is the person who led me to the monastery I am associated with. But he invites people to the monastery, but at home he does not behave according to the Dharma. So at one point I just left the house, and I guess it was for the better, because at that same time I was learning, learning the Dharma. How do you practice this samatha vipassana? And I saw, it's not conducive to live with this person. So it was painful, but anyway, I left, and I guess it was for the better of that person also. Because my living with him gave him opportunity to do lots of unwholesome deeds, like harsh speech and violence and those kind of things. So I left, more than for me, for the other person as well. So I guess that's a traumatic example.
Yeah. I think it's very hard when we meet with things like that. When we maybe, the person that we thought highly of, or person that's supposed to be very close to us, some of their behavior, their action is just unwholesome. And then furthermore, nowadays we're always saying mental health. It's just not good for my mental health, right? And then it's not good for me and also for the other person. So this is a time, if we have the strength to step back, it might be for the better. So yeah, thank you, everyone. Ube, you were just saying something.
Yes, Shifu. I have met with friends that are foolish and those that are wise. Usually the foolish ones are when we are younger, right? And then as we mature, then we get to distinguish and associate with the wiser ones. So many mistakes of youth are really because also of the friends we surround ourselves with. The final action is ours, but it does not help when those around you are foolish. Yeah.
That's true. So I think then as we grow older, we start to know what's best for us. We start to think, what do I really want in my life? So this is a time where we want to, find good teachers, or, to use a Buddhist terminology, this is the time when we want to associate with Dharma teachers and Dharma friends, right? 善知识. So yeah, that's basically the first point that the Buddha teaches. If you want to lead an auspicious life, you need to surround yourself with the people who will have a positive influence on you instead of a negative influence. Because if we are negatively impacted, then we might do things, we might fall into a situation where we are starting to do things that are unwholesome, right? So surrounding ourselves with the right people is very important, right? So that's the first one. So let's go to the second one. To reside in a suitable locality, to have done meritorious action in the past, and to set oneself in the right course. So this is talking about like, where do you want to abide, essentially? Like, where do you want to live? And more importantly, what are the actions that you can do in order to be on the right path, right? So, for example, there is a Chinese story where a mother moved his son 3 times in order to find a good school. So the person in name is Mencius. So Mencius is a great philosopher, right? So it's like he is on the level of Confucius. So when Mencius was very young, his father died. So it was just him and his mother. So at the first school that Mencius attended to, when he came back, he started to use very rude language. And then, so when the mother realized that this school has a bad influence on his son, he just pulled Mencius out of the school and then moved away to another place. So she did this 3 times before finally finding a place that's suitable for Mencius to learn. So I think nowadays we have more mobility. We can drive around and we can choose the place that we want to go. So it's like associating with friends. What kind of place do you want to associate with, right? I joke about the first night when we landed in Manila. I joked that Venerable Miao Jing took us to the casino. Because she took us to one of the casinos, not to see the casinos, but to see the fountain, the musical fountain. And it was a very beautiful musical fountain. The only problem is it's situated in a casino. So it was, I joke about that, it's very funny. But then again, even in a casino, you can choose to, look at a water fountain and enjoy that spectacle, or you go into the casino and then lose all your money. So again, the choices is all ours, right? And whatever choices that we choose, we have to bear the consequences. So what we are experiencing now is definitely what we done in the past, right? So if the Buddha tells us that if you want to lead an auspicious life, be more aware, be more mindful of your actions, right? Because our actions will affect our future. And if you want to be on this right path, if you want to lead a life guided by the Dharma, we need to know that, hey, what kind of choices should I make in order to lead the life of the Dharma, right? So that's the second one. The third one is to have much learning, to be skillful in handicraft, well trained in discipline, and to be of good speech. So now this is starting to get a little bit, it's starting to get quite personal, right? Because the Buddha, in all of these examples given in the third one, is very daily. It's our day-to-day life. We have to improve ourselves. We have to find a skill, right? Nowadays, we have to have a profession, and we need to have good discipline, right? Only then will we have this kind of like the opportunity, the chance to lead an auspicious life. Now the fourth one is also very daily. So it's talking about supporting our parents, be a supportive spouse, if you are married, and also a supportive parents if you have children, right? So, and to engage in peaceful occupation. So this is talking about a right livelihood, right? Our occupation should also be wholesome and righteous. So these few examples shows that, before we, really start to talk about like very profound understanding of the Dharma, we need to start from ourselves. We need to start from our action. We need to start from our own family members. Before talking about treating other all sentient beings with kindness and compassion, you need to treat your family with kindness and compassion, right? If you can't do that, then you wouldn't be able to do it to all sentient beings, right? It doesn't make sense. So the first few blessings that the Buddha taught us is talking about our daily life. So the next one here, it continues in the same vein. So I'm going to go through the few that has the same idea in mind. So to be generous in giving and to be righteous in conduct. So this is again talking about how we choose to act, right? To help our relatives to be blameless in action. Blameless in action means that whatever that we do is not unwholesome. It's following, as lay practitioners, then we are following the 5 precepts. We're following the Noble Eightfold Path. And then the next one, to loathe evil and abstain from it. So we protect ourselves, we prevent ourselves from doing anything that's unwholesome. To refrain from intoxicants, right? No drinking wine, taking drugs, things like that. And steadfast in virtues. So out of the list, the Buddha spent this much of the list talking about our daily life. And that is exactly what Venerable Master would say is the teaching of humanistic Buddhism. It's all about our body, speech, and mind. It's all about how we connect with our family and friends and the people around us, right? Interpersonal relationship. It's about our job. It's about our occupation or profession, right? So if we can do all of this well, then we are already guaranteed an auspicious life. So I think that this first part, this list is very powerful because the Buddha didn't say that if you want to lead an auspicious life, pray to the Buddha, pray to the Bodhisattva, or donate a lot of money to the monastery, or donate a lot of money to charity, donate a lot of money to poor people. No. He's saying that you start from yourself. You have to be the change, right? Be the change you want to see, right? So this is the first part. Anyone would like to share a little bit about, this part? Does it inspire you?
I would guess yes, because it reminds me of Leo Fan's 4 lessons. Though part of my practice, I would avoid that because we have this belief that if you do merit and if you don't offer the merit, it will like drive your samsara. But if you do generosity properly, you wouldn't extend your samsara unnecessarily, and in fact benefit sentient beings. So yes, and I guess it's important that the Buddha immediately said after generous in giving, righteous in conduct, because you can be generous, but you can do it with the 3 poison intention, raga intention, right? So I guess the bottom line takeaway is you do it with the Dharma in the mind. So again, the Dharma is the entire package.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay. So going on, now we begin to see examples of leading an auspicious life that's so-called more connected to the Dharma, for lack of a better word. So here it says, be respectful, humble, contented, and grateful, and then to listen to the Dharma on due occasion. So for us, we have you have the opportunity, and also you are willing to continually participate in this weekly study group, right? So I think it's like your 139 or more, maybe more than that meeting. So it's over 100 meeting by now, right? So you are able to do that, and then so you've been continuing this Dharma gathering for more than 2 years. And why is that? Because I think you found something in this gathering, you found something in this conversation that's worth continuing, right? So listen to the Dharma on due occasions. I always remember that one of the Bodhisattva precepts is that a Bodhisattva should participate in a Dharma service or a Dharma talk if it is within like something like 30 kilometers or something like that, or 30 miles around you. So if you can walk to that destination to listen to the Dharma, you have to go, or else it's considered kind of like breaking the Bodhisattva precept. And I think that's very interesting because Buddhism, the Buddha always tells us you gotta think, you need to think for yourself, and then you need to work hard for your own liberation. You can't just sit there and then wait for liberation to just happen to you. You have to work hard. That's why Buddhism can be very tough. It can be very tough to be a Buddhist because everything that you do, whatever the consequences, is entirely your own fault, so to speak. But then again, we are our own greatest friend. So we make the decision in our life. And for us to continuing, reminding ourselves that what are the ways to make good decision is to continuing listen to the Dharma, right? So that's what the Buddha say. If you want to lead an auspicious life, you need to continuously improving yourself by learning the Dharma, right? And then to be patient and obedient, to associate with monks, and to have religious discussion on due occasions. I think going back to the interpersonal relationship problem that Irvin, you mentioned a little bit about, people problem. I think what the Buddha is also telling us that, hey, when we talk to people, it doesn't always have to be about problem. It can be about the Dharma. Our conversation can be about the Dharma, can be about what can improve ourselves. If everyone in the world talks about the Dharma, talks about self-improvement, we're gonna have world peace in no time, right? And then the next one, it talks about self-restraint, holy and chaste life, understanding the Four Noble Truths, and to realize Nibbana. Nibbana is the Pali for nirvana, right? And the easiest way to understand nirvana is that nirvana is a state where you no longer have three poisons. So where you no longer have any greed, hatred, or ignorance. So if you can achieve that state, you have attained nirvana. That is the simplest way of explaining the state of nirvana, right? So I think all of you here, you do practice this, because self-restraint is not about, oh, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. It's really about making the better choice. So for example, maybe after this Dharma discussion, everybody is very hungry, and then you think to yourself, do I want that ube ice cream or not? Ube ice cream is so good in the Philippines. It's only available in the Philippines. So, saying no is self-restraint. And then to lead a life that's led by the Dharma, right? Led by the Four Noble Truths. And it's it's I don't think any one of us here would doubt that if we can live our life like that, then we will definitely have a very auspicious life, right? So next, the kind of like the challenge becomes more difficult, because this is talking about, oh, even if you meet with, fortuitous events, or, unfortunate events, even if you are met with sorrow, even if you have a lot of afflictions, even if you have a lot of fear, you can find a way to get out of these situations. And that is only possible because we practice the Dharma in our life, right? So that's why this part of an auspicious life is more at the bottom of the list, because you have to do all of that above in order to get to this state right here. And last but not least, if you can do all of the things that the Buddha said, all of the things, be good to your parents, be good to your family members, have a good occupation, be very conscious and mindful about your choice in life, doing what is wholesome, and then eliminate all that is unwholesome. If you can do all of the things mentioned above, you will have the greatest blessings. You will live an auspicious life, guaranteed. Right? So the Mangala Sutra is so beautiful because it's, first of all, it's very humanistic. It talks about things that are happening to every single one of us right here and right now, myself included, right? Even though I might be a monastic, I still have my family and friends, right? I still have to talk to people every day, and I still have to tame my own three poisons. So this is very applicable to both, monastic, and then to all of you, all of you here. So the Mangala Sutra is, I think we can learn a lot from it. So I encourage you to go back. You can read the few excerpts that we put it in, that's mentioned in the article in BDPS itself, or you can, I think Erwin, you posted a link to this to this website, and then just reread it again, and then think about all of these little things that the Buddha said that will help us lead in an auspicious life. I think that would give us a lot of motivation, right? So I think that's what I want to talk about for the Mangala Sutra itself. Does anyone have any comments or questions about this section? Do you think you can do it? Do you think it's easily achieved?
Gradually, Shifu, gradually,
Okay.
I would say.
Yep. Yep.
Pastor, I have a question.
Okay. Yes.
Next
Lisa.
one.
Yes.
Regarding number one, do not be with foolish people. What
Mhm.
about if a wife, she has children, and the husband is a drunkard, and he curse and say bad words most of the time, and she doesn't want the children to hear it. But the husband is very hard-headed, cannot change him. What's the best way for the wife to do? Is separating the children from the father the best way, or what? She doesn't want her children to be exposed to that kind of behavior of the father.
Understood. This is a very tough question, and then this is the kind of situation where there's no like a clear yes or no, because every family in a way it's different, right? And of course, it is unfortunate when children have a drunkard as a father, and it is also very, very difficult on the mother, because she has to do what is best for her children. So I would say that the mother has to think of what's best for her children. And they, this kind of behavior can have a very negative impact on the children because first of all, they would be influenced by these bad words. Second of all, they would be influenced by the act of drinking alcohol itself. And then we see that a lot of alcoholics, their parents were also alcoholics, right? Because unfortunately, they have no wiser way out of the situation in their life. So a wise mother, just like the story that I just mentioned about the philosopher Mencius, being a wise mother, Mencius' mother tried to remove him from all of the unwholesome influences, right? So, but it takes great strength. It is a very painful process. It is not easy, and we have to acknowledge that it's not easy. In fact, it is heartbreaking. So that's what I will say. Yeah.
Thank you, Master. That is a good advice. Sometimes a mother has no choice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's why mothers, they are the strongest people in the world. Not Superman, but mothers. Mothers are the strongest people. Because once you are a mother, you stop thinking about yourself. You start to think about your children and then everyone else. So, yeah. Thank you for the question, Louisa. Yeah, Louisa. Okay. Anyone else would like to share, your thoughts on the Mangala Sutra, or is this applicable to you? Yeah.
Actually, Shifu, I like to point out that, yeah, the first line, at least in our vihara, we have this interpretation. Actually, the original is Asevanacha Balanam, Panditanacha Sevana. Bala is the foolish, Pandita is the wise. Our Dasha there says that you could read it this way. The foolish refers to the three poisons. The wise refers to the antidote. Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka, Vitaragi, Vita, Dvesha, Vita, Mohi. Oh, there are at least 8 of them, the opposite of the thing. So that's the Anapana Sati, the out with the three poison, in with the antidote to the three poison. So that's why I really like this sutra, especially the first line, because that's like, a snippet, like Mani Padme Hum is a snippet. So this is also another snippet.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, I see what you mean. It's not just about, foolish people, but it's really about the foolishness that we experience in our life, and then that's the three poison. So yeah, do not engage with our three poison, especially when you notice that they are bubbling inside of us. But when you realize that there are three poison in you, what can you do with it? So like you say, you have the antidote. You practice loving kindness, you practice compassion, you practice wisdom. And in fact, you can even practice, generosity and all kinds of Buddhist practice to counteract the foolishness of the three poisons. So thank you so much, Ruan. I didn't know about that at all. So thank you for sharing. Thank you.
You're welcome, Shifu.
Anyone else? I see that there are 16 participants on Zoom, but I feel like there's only 6 of us. Even if you have your video closed, it's okay. This is a very safe Dharma space, and we would really love to hear from you.
Master, I have a question again.
Okay.
Regarding, I remembered Venerable Master Xing had mentioned that in 100 things that you have to do, that you have to get at least how many licenses? 3 or 5 licenses?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. How many was that?
I can't remember, but
How
I
many
think maybe
we have?
6.
6?
I think 6. I think.
Driver's license. What else?
I think like driver's license,
Professional license.
cooking license, construction license, even like medical license. I think there are a few. I can't remember all of them right off the top of my head right now, but you are right. This license is the reason why Variable Master raised this is because in this 21st century, first of all, everyone wants to see your certificate or license, right? If you want to drive a car, you have to show your license. If you want to apply for a job, you have to show your license to prove that you are qualified, right? So for Variable Master, he feels that, everyone, especially monastics, we need to engage with the outside world. And since this is the way that people are kind of like, this is how society is being run, right? If you want to drive a truck, no problem. Even if you're a monastic, you can drive a truck, but you need to have that license. So that's why he encouraged us to get as many licenses as possible, so that we are professionals. We meet up to the professional standard of the society. So I think like the venerables in the Buddha Museum here, a lot of them are taking tests to get different qualifications. So I think they are taking tests for the fire department. I'm not very sure of the detail, but like the fire department qualification, and then the environmental protection qualification, and then also like qualification to drive heavy machinery, to operate heavy machinery. A lot of the venerables in the Buddha Museum are taking all of these examinations and being qualified, because only then they can do more with their qualifications. They can do more for the Buddha Museum. So you're right, Luisa. We should get more license. We should become more professional. Yeah.
More licenses.
More licenses.
Operate machineries.
Yeah. Do you know how many, like we always have like big trucks, construction things going on. You need that. Yeah.
Professional license, like architect, like an engineer, like a
Yep.
doctor, right?
Yep. Yes. Or teacher, teacher.
Teacher license, yeah.
Teacher license, yep.
Yes.
Yes, Ube, you want to share?
I'm just curious, Shafu, because I know that, as far as I know, all of you have undergraduate degrees. All of you, right? Is there any medical doctor that became a monastic in the community now, in the Sangha?
So I'm gonna address these two things. First of all, undergraduate degree. I think more and more monastics have undergraduate degrees, and the reason
Yes.
is, like myself, for example, I became a monastic after I finished my university, after I got my bachelor degree. So, but before, I would say like 40 years, even 30 years ago, actually there are not a lot of monastics that have university degree. And the reason being is that at that time in the society, having a high school degree is enough. You can apply for jobs even with a high school certificate. It's okay. You can go to like companies, you can work in companies even with a high school certificate. But now times have changed. Now, without a university diploma, if you don't even have an undergrad, it's very difficult for you to find a job. You might not even be able to apply to McDonald's, something like that, maybe. So this shows a change of time.
Yes, because I know like a lot of you are already well established, accomplished, in your careers, and chose to become monastics, right?
Yes, you're right. Yeah, a lot of so in Foguangshan, First of all, medical doctors, I have actually never, I don't know if anyone, any venerables who was a medical doctor before they renounced,
Oh.
but there are a lot of venerables who were nurses.
Oh. Okay.
So they work in different parts of the hospital. So I know a venerable who used to work in the ICU. There are also venerables who work in the emergency as a nurse. So when I talk to them, I find that, you know, for them, becoming a venerable is a very natural choice. Because in the hospital, in ICU, in the emergency room, they see so much life and death happening. Blink of an eye, you know, someone unfortunately passed away because of, you know, their accident or because of their illness, right? So for them, Buddhism gave them the answer that can it helped them realize that, first of all, life is indeed impermanent, and second of all, there's no time to wait. We have to seize the chance that we have now that we are still alive, to learn the Dharma, to do more for Buddhism, because time is so short, right? So I see these for me, they are my Dharma brothers. I see them; they are all very inspiring, especially those who have experience in the medical field. Yeah, only because they've seen so much. Yeah. Okay. So yes.
Thank you, Shifu.
No, thank you. Thank you for your sharing. Um,
Regarding the question of Ube, Shifu, because just recently we had 4 visiting students from Chongling, and one of them, she was just newly renounced, just very latest, and I think she had a medical degree.
oh yes, you're right.
She's the one. So what's her name? She went
yeah.
home earlier to get her new Straminera
Yeah.
initiation, right?
Yes.
You met her, right, Shifu?
Yes, I know. Yeah. She's a Chinese medicine doctor.
Yeah.
Right. You are right. Yeah, we do have one. I suddenly I couldn't recall. Yeah, but you're right. We do have one. Yeah. And also for
We have 2.
we have
That
2. Oh,
one and then a dentist.
yeah.
So want to.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. So yeah. You know, when I look at these venerables, our venerables with medical background, I'm always reminded of the 32 marks of excellence of the Buddha. So for some of the marks, so for example, the Buddha has really soft hands, and the reason that he gained this mark is because for his past lives, for many lifetimes, he has been taking care of the sick. So this is actually an auspicious sign, right? We are talking about auspiciousness today. This is an auspicious sign that appear on the Buddha, you know, very soft and warm palms. And that's because in the past life, he has always been taking care of the people who are sick. So when I see our venerables who are very caring, who has background in the medical field, I always think that, you know, they are cultivating that auspicious sign. And of course, through taking care of the sick, we are also cultivating our heart to become more kind and compassionate, right? And so it all ties in together. Okay, so I think we are running a little bit short on time, so I'm just going to go back. So now all of us here know how to lead an auspicious life, right? It's about, you know, facing the problems of our life right now, and then just make the right decision, make the wholesome decision, so that we are able to lead a life that is blameless, that is pure, and that is without any afflictions, right? We're working towards that goal. That for us as a practicing Buddhist is what auspicious life is about. Okay, so the last thing that I want to share is that Buddhism is never about ourselves, Buddhism is never about finding liberation, attaining liberation just for our own benefit. It's always about both ourselves and other people. So in the year 2005, Venerable Master wrote this Chinese New Year greeting, and it's auspicious coexistence, right? So Venerable Master is bringing this idea of auspiciousness, of 吉祥, from ourselves to all the people around us, right? So just now when we read the Mangala Sutra, we see that it's also talking about other people. It's talking about how we should treat our family, friends, relatives, people that are close to us. It's telling us how we should treat them, right? So in the article, it says all forms of life on earth are interconnected. So we need to learn to coexist with one another. So I think, these few years, human history and the news is always talking about, you always see things like human conflict. When there's human conflict, there's wars, there's killing, there's argument, there's fighting. We have all of this happening. So even if we can lead an auspicious life, it's not enough. We want everybody to lead an auspicious life, because only then will every single person be truly auspicious. Everyone will be truly free from disaster. We will have all of the good opportunities and chances coming to us. So for Venerable Master, for him, Venerable Master is also never about talking about himself. He's never saying that what I want or what I need. He's also never just saying that only Buddhists can have benefits, can receive benefits. Venerable Master is always saying that every single person should share the same benefit. Every single person should live a very peaceful and harmonious life, a life that is without any harm, troubles or disasters, right? So the idea of bringing auspiciousness from ourselves to the people around us, right? So it ties back to what my very first question to everyone: how do you greet people, right? So how do we share our auspiciousness to everyone around us? And we can start by very simply saying 吉祥 to everyone we meet. We can say auspicious greetings, all the best, may you be free from afflictions, disaster. This is my best wish to you. And then I hope that one single greeting can at least bring a little bit of happiness and positivity to other people's life, right? So I think that's about what I want to share today. And of course, I sincerely hope that all of you will experience auspiciousness in life. And I hope that you can also bring this auspiciousness to your family, to your friends, to your work colleague, to every single person around you, to the society around you. Because having now been to the Philippines, I can feel that the friendliness, the warmth of all the Filipinos are a form of sharing auspiciousness, one's auspiciousness to others, right? So since I'm getting a little bit tongue twisted, I'm gonna stop. So thank you very much for having me today. Thank you.
Thank you, Master. Auspicious greetings to you
谢谢
too.
师傅。
谢谢志同法师。So talk about the auspiciousness. I just remember the 焰口法会, how to call it in English.
The Yoga Chara Flaming Mouth Dharma service.
Yeah, because at the end of the service, we sing the, how to call it, 最上三宝.
最上三宝. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Supreme Triple Gem. Yeah.
Because there's all talk about the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Is we praise that is the most auspicious thing.
And also, once we take refuge in the Triple Gem, we will also receive the blessings and auspiciousness from the Triple Gem, right?
So we all take the Triple Gem already, right? Actually, we do that every day because when we do after the chanting, we take the refuge. Yes.
Actually, Shifu, if I may butt in about that, I just recently I've been attending for Guangsheng in Manila for the past like 2 or 3 months, and I'm always asking when is the next triple gem taking ceremony so I can start wearing a hai ching, and they say, oh no, we don't decide that. Kaohsiung decides that. So how does that exactly happen? I have to wait for Kaohsiung.
Well, it's really depend the situation and how many people will join. So because it's just after the pandemic, so I haven't put on the schedule yet.
I see.
Yeah.
Just have to be
Really
patient.
fly back to
Auntie Marlene,
I think it's in Taiwan. We have in Kaohsiung. We have the
October. I
is
think.
that the one in October, Auntie Marlene?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. For
Ruan is asking the one to be held in
In
Manila.
Mabuhay.
Yeah.
Well,
Ube, we have to congratulate Ube. She's going to receive her precepts this October in Kaohsiung.
Wow.
God, wow. Wow.
so you're coming to Kaohsiung,
Hey,
Ube?
that's auspiciousness.
Yes,
Ube is going to
Apo.
visit you,
Really
Verbo Chico.
auspicious.
She's
Ruan,
going
you
to
wanna
visit
come?
Verbo Miao Guang and Verbo Chico.
I
Wow.
just
We're joining
started
the,
my job this week,
conference.
so I'll see if I can save up.
Okay.
Now we will really encourage you if you can go to Taiwan to join. It'll
I
be
guess that will
really,
be-
really special.
I
Well,
guess
if more and more people request, then
Yeah.
we will have it soon. So
Yes.
please go to the temple and make the request. And
How-
every day, okay, you go every day and see Venerable Yongguang or Miao Jing Fa Shi. Hi, Venerable, can we have the ceremony?
I'll
many
intensify my
people?
chanting also.
Yeah, and
How
then you
many-
encourage other members and everyone to
Okay.
have.
How many people should there be for a ceremony to be done?
It can be a lot, it can be few, but we don't want the Heshang, the variable, fly all the way from Taiwan. Just take
Oh, I
It's
understand now.
expensive. I
people,
see.
right?
Oh, so the one that will
Appreciate.
officiate should be the
Yes.
sang. I get it
To
now.
be the head abbot. Yes.
Oh,
Oh my God. Wow.
okay.
I
So
think
that's why it
the
makes
last
sense.
time, the last time we have these precepts, that was years ago, and I remembered Sunny Lee was tasked to get as many participants as possible, and I think it's 1,000 participants, and it's already a few weeks, a few months to
Wow.
go, and just how many people just registered, right? And then he made a vow. And then he prayed, he chanted sutra every day. And that day itself, he got 1,000 participants.
Wow.
真的没想到，不可思议哈！大家的 people thought that it's impossible that it happened.
Mhm.
But you
I don't
make
remember. Is it Master Shinting came or Master Xingmin came that time? You still remember, Sister Marlene?
Master Shin Ting. But
Master Shinting.
remember also one time it was held in Cebu, and
Mhm.
Venerable Yongling also made the vow because she
Mhm.
was, I think she was able to, there were 500
Mhm.
to a temple, and she also made the vow that she
Yeah.
could reach that number of preceptees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that time, there are only few people who registered, a few months before,
To a
and then it
temple
was
also
finally
one time.
almost near, and suddenly it picked up.
Chance.
So I have Auntie Marlene to thank for this.
So being with the good people,
Yes.
善知识
Surround yourself with Dharma friends. Yeah.
wholesome people and Dharma friends.
Actually, the man on this photo, if you'll see my cover photo, that's me, and then Chichin Fasher, and then Mark. That's Mark on the far end. He's the one who brought me to FGS. I mean, I'm already practicing, Southern Buddhism, but it's interesting to be part of the Chinese community. I mean, no, sorry, majority Chinese community. If we say FGS is Chinese, then we're being racist to the Dharma. But I guess so good friends. So.
Yeah. Yeah, your photo is very updated. Just recently taken with the
Opo.
with
The
exhibit.
art exhibit in Malate.
And we should compliment Roy. He came all the way from Nueva Ecija to join
Thank you.
our Sunday communal service. That's
Thank
more than
you.
3 hours ride, right?
Correct.
Yes, opo.
Correct.
Wow, that's dedication. Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's also one of the auspiciousness. Listen to the Dharma,
Yes.
right? Gaining auspiciousness.
We go all the way 3 hours. Oh, wow. So our devotee, no excuse.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So
We go
that's
all the
3
way
hours.
3 hours.
That's 3 hours one way. He has to ride 3
Yes.
hours going. So 6
6
hours.
hours.
Yes.
You mean we have to go to Cebu?
Oh,
And that
an
is
hour
on
and a
a
half.
and that is on a good road condition, meaning not much traffic jam.
It's a straight road. I guess the Bodhisattva are using me to guilt trip people. Yes. I would believe that. That would make sense. Anyway. Oh.
Okay. Anything else?
Master, you have a beautiful background.
Yes.
Is that Photoshop or
welcome
what?
to
The
Cebu.
color. I like the color. Is that not the true color?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. In the
The
evening.
sunset?
Yeah, there is
Wow.
sunset. And
Mhm.
there
I
is
like it.
another one.
But there's a photo bomber, I think, at the back. There's a building.
And this one.
Like a building.
This one is
That
nice.
one, the brown one.
The brown one, that was during the Chinese New Year because all the lights on. But also the sunset. And I didn't do any change the light or anything. No adjustment.
Oh, wow.
That is the natural. Yeah. Cebu and temple is very beautiful. So
Yes.
welcome everyone to join our activities and Dharma services. Okay. Let's go to the end to transfer merit. And next week we have a break because next Wednesday we will start the
City Garba.
City Galba Dharma service. 农历初一7月半 Dharma service. Okay, so I will see Louisa 师姐 I'll see Marlene Shijie. Hey, I might see Rowan, right? In person.
Rowan, you should come on Sunday because it's the triple contemplation Dharma service. We have Venerable Hui Shi coming all the way from Taiwan to conduct that service. But it starts, huh? But
Nito pong
it
Sunday,
might
this
end-
Sunday.
No, next.
Next.
Next
Next week. I
on
see.
the 20th. But then when you go home, might be too late because we usually end at around 7.
Oh no, Venerable Hui Shi is very fast. He was sing fast.
6 at least.
So maybe
know,
6 o'clock. We can be
No,
I'll
that's
see.
fine.
I'll see.
Huh?
Actually, this Saturday I'm coming. There's a Blia Yad event in Malate. I'm not sure about the details. I hope the bus does not get late.
But
So
then don't miss if you can attend
Yes, I'll try.
the 20th. Come, but would it be too late for you to go home at 6
I'm
or
not
7?
sure. I'll see. But if not, I'll be definitely coming for the Great Compassion 9 a.m. service on 20.
Yeah, but then that Sunday service is different. We don't hold that service very often here.
Oh, I see. I'll see what I can do. Thank
Yeah.
you.
We
Thank
can
you.
leave a little bit earlier.
Yes.
Or you can leave a little bit early, just try to you can maybe after the second contemplation, then you can leave early
Oh. I'll see.
instead of completing the entire service, probably. At least you experience it, you have participated in it.
I'll
Yeah.
see. Thank you, Shisha, for that. I'll go 20th on the 20th. I'll consider.
Yes. Yes.
You should come. You should come. Not
Yes.
far, Hasipu people. Only hour and 30 minutes flight. Welcome to join. Okay, let's do transform merit. Please join palms. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you very
much,
much,
Tom.
Venerable
Thank
Chithong.
you, Shisha, Shifu.
Thank you
Thank you,
so
Safu.
much. Thank you. I'll see you soon.